There comes a moment in life when the noise around you becomes unbearable. The fake smiles, the broken promises, the endless distractions, the voices telling you to relax, to slow down, to stop trying so hard. And then there is another voice, a quieter one, a deeper one. The voice inside you that knows you were not created for a small life. The voice that refuses to accept weakness as your destiny. The voice that whispers, even in your darkest nights, you were made for more than this. But here is the problem. Most people hear that voice and still choose comfort. They choose delay over discipline. They choose distraction over purpose. They choose temporary pleasure over permanent growth. And then they wonder why their life never changes. Listen carefully. Your life will not transform because you watched one motivational video. It will not transform because you posted a quote, wrote down a goal, or said you wanted more. Your life changes the moment you become stronger than the version of you that keeps sabotaging your future. That is the real battle. Not against the world, not against your haters, not against the people who doubted you. The hardest war you will ever fight is the war against your lower self. The part of you that wants comfort without effort, results without sacrifice, healing without honesty, strength without pain, faith without patience, victory without discipline. That version of you must die. Because greatness does not come to the person who negotiates with weakness every day. Greatness comes to the one who looks pain in the eyes and says, if you came to destroy me, you chose the wrong soul. Understand this. Pain is not always a punishment. Sometimes pain is permission. Permission to leave behind the weak version of yourself. Permission to stop begging for love from people who never valued you. Permission to stop wasting your potential on distractions that leave your soul emptier than before. Permission to rebuild. And maybe that is exactly what God is doing in your life right now. Maybe the silence you hate is actually God cutting away the noise. Maybe the delay is not rejection, but preparation. Maybe the loneliness is not abandonment, but isolation for transformation. Maybe the closed doors are not there to punish you. Maybe they are there to force you to become the kind of person who can build his own door. Think about that. Some of the strongest people you admire were not shaped by comfort. They were shaped by loss, by pressure, by humiliation, by failure, by being overlooked, by having to keep walking even when nobody believed in them. That is why the strongest souls are often the quietest. They know what it means to survive their own mind. They know what it means to smile with pain hidden behind their eyes. They know what it means to keep going while their heart is exhausted. And if that is you right now, hear me clearly. This season is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where you are being sharpened. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, a man who carried the weight of an empire, wrote to himself as a reminder that the obstacle in the path can become the path itself. Not the thing that stops you, the thing that shapes you, the thing that trains you, the thing that reveals what is weak inside you and demands that you fix it. That is why pain is dangerous only to the person who refuses to learn from it. To the person willing to grow, pain becomes fuel. And this is where most people fail. They feel pain and collapse. They feel heartbreak and lose direction. They feel rejection and start doubting their worth. They feel loneliness and run back to the same habits, the same people, the same empty distractions. But you cannot heal in the same place that keeps weakening you. You cannot become disciplined while feeding your addictions. You cannot become powerful while obeying every emotion that enters your mind. And you cannot ask God for a stronger life while refusing to carry the weight required to build it. You say you want to grow. Good. Then grow when it is uncomfortable. Grow when no one notices. Grow when your chest feels heavy. Grow when your mind says, skip today. Grow when your heart wants to quit. Grow when the world gives you no applause. Because discipline is not proven on easy days. Discipline is proven on the days when your excuses sound reasonable and you still do the work. That is the difference between the average and the dangerous. Average people move when they feel inspired. Dangerous people move because they made a decision. Average people pray for a better future and then waste the present. Dangerous people pray, then act like their prayer deserves effort. Average people say they want peace but keep feeding chaos. Dangerous people cut off what weakens them, even when it hurts. So ask yourself, what in your life is making you smaller? Is it your habits, your laziness, your addiction to comfort, your need for validation, your fear of being alone, your inability to stay consistent, your attachment to people who only remember you when they need something? Whatever it is, face it, name it, and then remove its power over you. Because no enemy outside of you is more dangerous than the weakness you protect within yourself. And this is where faith becomes powerful. Faith is not sitting in darkness and doing nothing. Faith is trusting God enough to keep walking even when you do not understand the road. Faith is praying with tears in your eyes and discipline in your actions. Faith is saying, I do not know why this season hurts, but I will not waste it. Faith is choosing obedience over emotion, patience over panic, purpose over pleasure. Maybe God allowed the pain because the old version of you was too comfortable. Maybe He allowed the heartbreak because you were building your identity on people instead of principles. Maybe He allowed the silence because your soul had become addicted to noise. Maybe He allowed the struggle because you were asking for a stronger life while still living like a weak man. And now the lesson is clear. Wake up, take control, master yourself. No more waiting for motivation. No more promising yourself tomorrow. No more acting like time is endless. No more letting one bad day become one bad week. No more letting your emotions run a life that your discipline should be leading. If you truly want to change, then let this be the moment. The moment you stop romanticizing pain and start using it. The moment you stop talking about discipline and finally practice it. The moment you stop chasing attention and start chasing mastery. The moment you stop trying to be understood by everyone and start understanding yourself. The moment you stop living like a victim of your circumstances and start living like a student of your suffering. Because the truth is simple. Your future is being built by what you do in private. By the mornings you rise when nobody is watching. By the nights you stay focused when distraction is easier. By the prayers you whisper when your heart is tired. By the choices you make when your old habits come knocking. By the standard you refuse to lower, even when life gets hard. One day people will say you changed. They will say you became colder, more distant, more focused, more silent. Let them say it. They were comfortable with the version of you that had no boundaries, the version of you that explained too much, tolerated too much, forgave too quickly, and abandoned yourself to keep others comfortable. They are not meeting the same person anymore. Now they are meeting someone who learned from pain, someone who found God in silence, someone who turned loneliness into discipline, someone who turned rejection into self-respect, someone who stopped asking life for mercy and started demanding more from himself. That is power. That is growth. That is what happens when a soul decides it has suffered enough to finally transform. So if this message found you at the right time, don't let it become another video you felt for 5 minutes and forgot by tomorrow. Take one lesson from it. Apply it tonight. Not next week. Not when life becomes easier. Tonight. Wake up earlier. Cut one distraction. Finish the work you've been avoiding. Pray with sincerity. Write down the habits that are killing your future. Start fixing one of them before this day ends. Because healing without action becomes fantasy. Faith without effort becomes an excuse. And potential without discipline becomes regret. And if you're one of the few who still believes pain can be turned into power, if you're building yourself in silence, and if you're done living weak, distracted, and half awake, then walk with me. Follow GloomyMortal for the kind of words that don't comfort weakness, they destroy it. For the kind of truth that hits at 3 a.m. and stays with you at 6 a.m. For dark motivation, discipline, faith, and the mindset of becoming unrecognizable to the version of you that almost gave up. If you're serious about changing your life, not just watching videos about it, stay here. This is not a page for excuses. This is not a place for comfort. This is for the ones fighting silent battles, carrying heavy minds and still choosing to rise. So subscribe, come back tomorrow, and build that stronger version of yourself with me, one brutal truth at a time.